Hey, everybody, it's the Coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Oakland Raiders and the Indianapolis Colts. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Oakland Raiders and the Indianapolis Colts. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, we take a look at the Colts entering play. They come in on a one-game winning streak. What do you say we keep that one positive? Because they haven't had much to be positive about lately.
Yeah, let's take it, maybe make it almost like the theater. You're only as good as your last performance. Hopefully they can continue to move forward.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders, they coming off their very first loss of the year, suffered a week ago.
Yeah, it will not be a perfect season, but I'm interested to see how they bounce back now that they know that chasing the 1972 Dolphins is out the window.
The bye weeks are over. It's all about football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by their quarterback, the very, very talented Andrew Luck.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
They go play action here on first down. Powerful blitz coming, and down he goes. Kyler Fackrell coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Now it's Luck. And this is going to be incomplete. Here's the offense, and if you're the defense, Charles, you really have to focus on that guy that's highlighted on the screen.
You're talking about pure speed. T.Y. Hilton can get down the middle of the field and really stretch a defense.
And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. A shotgun snap for Luck. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And they'll get him down here at the 23. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at the 34. They start the drive with Lynch. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Give them 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Now Carr throwing on second down. And he'll sling that one in there. Complete to Cooper on a comebacker. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A Raider first down as Carr finds Cooper. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Now a first carry for T.J. Yeldon. And he's going to bring this one down to right about the 20-yard line. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
Well, this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting him to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
And he'll have his man. That's Cooper. And they'll get this down to the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Big completion there on 3rd and short. Keeps their opening drive alive.
Not only alive, but plenty of possibilities now. 1st and goal, and you know me. I'm a big advocate. If you're going to throw the ball, throw it early in the down and distance count.
Throwing on 1st down is Carr. And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Martavis Bryant, touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Raiders have taken the early lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball out of the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. A look there at how the Raiders will start defensively. And they're going to be tough to throw on, no doubt. Currently ranked 3rd in the NFL against the pass.
And since this is such a good unit of covering passes downfield, I think that last play is typical of what we might see. A lot of short passes, see if they can generate some run after the catch, but nothing doing on that one.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. 2nd and 10, Luck again. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Throwing on 3rd down, Luck. And he hits his man, Matthews. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Line of scrimmage moves from one 37-yard line to the other as they come up 1st and 10. They go back to the ground now with Crowell. And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give him the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
They'll try to run forward with Crowell. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
And Vinatieri's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. They fake the handoff. Now Carr. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Jabal Sheard. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you're doing a big way, and what else do you have to look at?
And got his man complete. A big play there. Carr to Cooper. 49 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Carr now on 1st down. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, here's Yeldon. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. They're on the march, but facing a 3rd down here. Shotgun now for Carr. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half, a second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
Free kick out of bounds, kicking team.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Look, and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 at the 40. Back to throw. Love. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Cole Beasley, the intended target. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Back to the air. Luck on 2nd down. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give the Colts 13 yards and a 1st down.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Luck going to try to run the option left. And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. And that's caught by Beasley. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage to the 35. His first catch, good for 8 and a 1st down.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
On 2nd down, here's Love. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. Trying to get that one to his running back, Marlon Mack. And it's 3rd down.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
From the gun on 3rd down, Luck. And he comes back with one complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a 1st down as well.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
Love. On the left side, he finds Beasley. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
He hits Beasley right side. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
To throw is Love. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Carr to throw on second down. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker, and he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you've got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this.
Jordan Matthews all by himself. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jordan Matthews, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Colts strike quickly here for 6 points. And sometimes those slants, they can be so tough to defend after the catch. It just happens so quickly.
And really, what gets set up there is how quickly everything happens. Ball's out of the hands of the passer in a hurry, and he just takes it and goes.
And he went all the way into the end zone. Vinatieri out there to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Derek Carr getting ready to go again on offense. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get him back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran up.
And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. John Simon in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On second down, here's Carr. Being chased out left. And that is incomplete. He was looking for his big tight end there, Jesse James. And that'll make it third down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
Carr. A minute 57 to go in this first half. We'll come back to Indianapolis right after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Fielded at the 33. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Colts are set up well as they take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Jordan Matthews and the rest of his offensive mates heading back out there. He's already approaching 100 yards and has the touchdown. I'm sure on that opposite sideline right now, they're scratching their heads saying, all right, what do we do?
And the hard part is, even if you limit him to a short catch, does that make you miss ability to take it for big yardage and put in the end zone again? So trying to blanket him is very difficult, but ultimately, you've got to find a way to put him on the ground, tackle him, and he doesn't make that easy.
Well, they're struggling with that so far. To throw on 2nd down is Love. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Out of the gun, Luck. And that is incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
And our attention turns now to T.J. Yeldon. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? They'll start out on the ground. It's T.J. Yeldon. And he'll get this up to about the 40. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. The Raiders try to move quickly, try to get everybody back to the line. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Carr. And Bryant's got it over the middle. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a 1st down as well. A 1st down carry now for Yeldon. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Carr signaling to his guys, let's go here. Now a play fake. Carr. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Amari Cooper, his intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Working from the gun, it's Carr. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet. They're going to go for it on 4th. They'll go for it. It's Carr. And that is is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. Kenny Moore that time there on the coverage. Even though they didn't get it, probably the right call. Too long for a field goal and just not a whole lot to gain from a punt there.
Yeah, you wouldn't have really netted very much yardage if you pumped the ball, right? And the thing about a field goal, and you know this from so much experience, the longer the field goal, the lower it comes out off the kick, right?
And that's caught inside the 30. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down. So we hit halftime here in Indianapolis with the Colts on top. Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. They tried to run it to the short side of the field. There just wasn't a whole lot of room to work with.
Yeah, it seems like things just kept getting strung out towards the sideline, and he kept looking for a spot to dive up into the gap. There just wasn't one, so that turned into nowhere to run, nowhere to hide.
And no gain. Now Carr throwing on second down. To the right side, he's got Cooper. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And a nice gain of 21 yards. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, they say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. But don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch there.
He did spend 1 year with Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback there, so that helped back in high school. To throw on second down. Carr. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
The Raiders on third down. 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Now Carr. He'll get this one to Switzer. And he's going to get this inside the 30. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down. On first down, Carr. And he's got Cooper on the out route. That's complete. That throw good for 4. It's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Here's a give to Yeldon. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first.
The more football I watch, the more I want to check and see if teams are going to panic when they're down on the scoreboard. And this team has shown no signs of doing that. A lot of the time, they come out after the half. Things haven't worked so well in the first go-around. They want to throw the football like crazy. But the way to open up throwing the ball is to run it. And they've run it well here to start the second half.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Again, they'll pound it with Lynch. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. A great play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Raiders are able to cash in for 6. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Pinheiro now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
The Colts on third down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. From the gun, here's Love. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Here's Thomas. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. Derek Carr getting set and ready to go again on offense here. He is looking to help his team build their lead after trailing at halftime. They've got to like the spot they're in right now.
They have to love it, but as you and I both know, cliche alert coming here. You're only as good as your last possession. But I think that they like, as you said, the spot they're in and how confidently they're playing at this point.
But again, just a 1-possession lead, looking to expand that now. Quincy Wilson in on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Well, now they'll try the end around. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
Not your conventional play call, but that's okay. You probe the defense a little bit with some of everything in your playbook. That way they have to account for everything as the game moves on.
Throwing his car on 3rd down. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. They'll fake it. Now Love. It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They go play action here on first down. And Beasley with it over the middle. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 23 yards on the play.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And he finds Beasley complete. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. The Colts on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This will be 3rd and 5. Luck throwing again. And this is going to be incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
Back now in Indianapolis. It's the Raiders with the lead and the football here as we get ready to start quarter number 4. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bithema Bagley, used to say, don't go press this.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Good yardage there for the Colts. 18 and a first down.
How about that scramble by Andrew Luck? Sometimes we forget just how big, strong, and, yes, fast Andrew Luck is. When he came out of college at the Combine.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Kyler Fackrell in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory.
Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. A good pick up there of 20 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
First down, the run with Lynch. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. A gain of 3, 2nd down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. The Raiders on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Carr. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. Oh, a free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Andrew Luck now, he gears up to lead this offense again. And the passing game, I mean, look at the numbers. It's fallen off. When a team is struggling, sometimes you look at the quarterback. When the quarterback starts to struggle, who goes over and picks him up?
Yeah, that's always a big one, isn't it? Usually, there's a quarterback whisperer somewhere. And what I mean by that is, whether it's an assistant coach, whether it's one of his best friends on the team, someone that can get in his ear, get with him and say, all right, my man, what do you need? What's going on here? So he's one person he can lean on. He's going to have to lean on that guy right now.
On 1st down, Luck finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
On 2nd down, here's Luck. And his throw is incomplete. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Throwing again is Luck. Over the middle, complete. It's Doyle. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another good reception there. The Colts on the march.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Doyle. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And they're knocking on the door. 2nd and goal now in a one-score game. They come out here in the eye. They'll give it to him up the middle. Call it a gain of 2 as they're knocking on the door now. 3rd and goal. Now the Colts moving quickly here in the hurry-up offense. They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Rashawn Melvin that time able to make the play. So this defense, they looked a little shaky to start the drive, but bottom line, they're a play away from finishing it off.
They rocked them a little bit on this drive, didn't they? But as you and I both know, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. They have a chance to end it right here.
Likely the play of the game here, trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal. He'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jordan Matthews with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Colts have taken the lead here in the 4th.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
And he will take it back only to about the 13-yard line here.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like,
and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Marcus Golden in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. Carr signaling to his guys, let's go here. Back to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Now a desperation. He's got a man. Complete. A big play that time for the Raiders. 47 yards. First down now, but that clock rolling. Back to throw. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down. I see you nodding your head up and down. That's a very heady decision at this stage of the game. Out of the pocket, nowhere to go. Just get rid of it.
That's a smart play because you're not worried about your completion percentage, and you're also not trying to force it into bad traffic as well. Throw the ball away. Live to fight another down.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. The pitch out to Lynch. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
I know they got a little yardage there, but I'm not sure their investment is right. They're still running the football, and I'm not sure there's enough time to continue to do that.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 14. He's back to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. Give him 9 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field and just...
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Marcus Golden in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a 3rd situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
The Colts in victory formation now as they take the knee. Now the Raiders going to burn their third and final timeout as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now third and long. So locked down to a knee, and that ought to be the final act of this ball game. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. One final try now for Carr. He's going to let it fly. That's caught inside the 20. And he's in. Are you kidding me?
How do you give that up?
One of the most improbable ways to finish a game, and they do win it on the final play. This one is going to sting for a while. I mean, how do you let that happen defensively?
One stop.
One stop. I know that it's easy to say that from the booth, but
it is.
How do you let that happen, partner?
That's one of those where sometimes you get overzealous on defense, get out of your lanes, don't take care of your assignments. But let's just go ahead and focus on the offensive guy. Look what they got done.
Yeah.
They needed to make one play themselves, and they did it.
Yeah, that's the reverse side. It was a heck of a play and a heck of an ending to this script. And with the lead, no chance of a return spoiling this one here on the PAT. The extra point is good, and on the final play of the game, they walk away with a victory. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Oakland, they continue to keep pace for that first-round bye as they move to 11-1. And they'll return home next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for the Colts, this season is beyond salvage now as they fall to 2-10. And they'll be at home for one next week as the Baltimore Ravens come to town. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.